Welcome to the PharmaSource podcast. Today's episode is an interview with Olivier Rousseau, CEO of SGD Pharma. SGD Pharma is a global producer of moulded and tubular glass for pharmaceutical primary packaging, producing over 8 million vials and bottles every day. In this interview, Olivier sets out his strategy for how SGD Pharma will lead decarbonisation of the glass industry. I'm joined today on the podcast by Olivier Rousseau, who is CEO at SGD Pharma. Olivier, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, very welcome. Thanks to you.
Pleasure. So, Olivier, you joined SGD Pharma in July 2022. And prior to that, you were CEO at Verallia, the French bottles and glass packaging manufacturer, then moving into pharma. And what was a very challenging time for an industry just starting to come out of COVID. And even now, there are big challenges that the industry faces with regards to global inflation. How did you find that move into pharma at such a critical time?
I would say, as I was managing glass before already, I was not surprised with all the industrial process. That was basically the easy part. The more difficult part was to discover the pharma world and the pharma customers and their need for quality service. So a big part of my induction was around that, was to better understand our quality system, our level requirements, and understanding the needs of our customers.
Yes, it is a big step up in terms of the regulatory requirements around quality.
Prior to Verallia, I was working for the automotive industry, so I was not fully surprised with the expectations in terms of quality and service from customers. But it's true that pharma is clearly ahead of food and beverage, less quality and service. Yes.
Absolutely. The pharma packaging market is its own very distinct niche. There is also a lot of suppliers in this space. So I'm interested to get your perspective on what is it that makes SGD Pharma unique in this space, for anyone who hasn't worked with you before.
We are a pharmaceutical grade molded and tubular glass manufacturer since more than 125 years. We're in the business since quite some time. With a global footprint, 5 factories in Europe, in Asia, and with those 5 factories that are all certified ISO 15378, so basically pharma. We cover customers worldwide, and we have on top of that a network of agents and distributors to make sure that out of those 5 factories we can serve customers basically wherever they are in the world. What we provide is high quality, reliable, innovative primary glass packaging for our pharma customers, and we are today clearly the leader in molded primary glass packaging. And in our ambition, we want to grow our tubular part of the business and become also a leader in this field where competition is pretty high today. On molded, we're already there. On tubular, work to be done. Not exactly a small business because we produce roughly 4 billion vials per year, so it starts becoming significant. And we cover different market, different segments, whether it is parenteral, oral, nasal, veterinary also, still in the pharma. And out of our Zhongyang factory in China, we also serve beauty and wellness customers. So that's basically who we are today.
And we're right at the start of 2024. So I wonder if there are any key business priorities which you're focused on for this year.
We are going to have a year full of innovation. So we are just ahead of 2024, and after a pretty exciting 2023, 2024 will also be great from that point of view. We are going to, so we have just launched a new siliconization operation in our Saint-Quentin-la-Motte factory in France. So that was roughly 5 million euro investment. It's ready. We are starting delivering to customers. and we are going to launch that officially in PharmaPack. So we'll let the whole world know that now we have a true pharma grade siliconization process, a state of the art, in a brand new facility, and so we are going to benefit from that. Second big change for 2024 is that we are going to sell Velocity vials. You're maybe aware of that. We have a joint venture with Corning in India. And within that joint venture, we have basically two parts. One part where we are building a factory to produce glass tube in order to grow our tubular business. And we also have the goal of producing Velocity vials to basically ease and accelerate the filling process using the Corning technology and the coating technology and using our vials. So that's going to be a first in India, and we are going to serve India, but also other markets in the world out of that. So here also something pretty new, and I would say something less unusual. We are going to expand our ranges. It's true for molded and true also for tubular. And we have also a few very specific development for customers. So sometimes we produce a product just for one customer based on their specific needs, and we have a few ones also coming up in 2024. So out of all those innovation, we'll have a big bang in PharmaPack, and customers are most welcome to join us there because we'll showcase all of that.
So you touched on those partnerships like the one with Corning. How important are partnerships like that, and also M&A? Do you see that as being an important part of your growth strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. So today we are on the growth path. So our business will grow as a consequence also of the growth of the market, but the growth of the market is limited. And as we would like to grow much faster, today we are open to partnership, M&As, and we're also going through a significant investment that we are doing. Just to give you an example, the joint venture with Corning that we launched in 2023 and that will be fully effective producing in 2025 is more than 60 million euro investment. So as a consequence of that, we'll get the benefit of having a joint venture producing tube for us and for Corning, and we'll grow our tubular business out of that. Same example of the one I already gave you on siliconization. So all of that will help us grow. But as we would like more, for sure, other partnership as well as M&A is clearly on the table.
Decarbonisation of the pharma glass industry. I know that's something that is important to SGD Pharma and to you personally. I'd like to understand a bit more about how you're responding to that challenge, please.
I'll start with the conclusion. The conclusion is we want to be the leader in decarbonization of the glass pharma industry, period. Okay? In order to do that, and we have set the ambition of reducing our CO2 emission by 35% between 2020 and 2030, and by 65%, so that's a huge number, between 2020 and 2040. So which means that we are also going to invest significantly in the decarbonization of all our industrial process, and working on that also with our customers end-to-end on the full value chain in order to cover scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3, and get to our goal, which is to clearly lead pharma glass industry on that, because what we truly believe is that more and more of our customers will make choices on suppliers based on the carbon level, I would say, of the vials that they are using. So as the discussions we have with customers leads us to that, we have decided that we would lead the game. We have started also a process with SBTi just to sure that everybody can see that, yeah, our plan is based on numbers, that those numbers have been verified, and that if we say that we are going to reduce CO2 emission by 65%, yes, of course, we are going to do it.
If you were to break that target down a bit, what are the biggest steps that you're looking at or that others could take in terms of reducing their emissions?
Multiple things. So first of all, core of the strategy is with the technology of the furnaces. So we have, for example, in Saint-Quentin, already a furnace that is 100% electric, so already low on carbon, especially because the electricity in France is low on carbon.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to move some furnaces towards full electric when it is possible. When it is not possible for whatever reason, we are going to convert them from today roughly 80% gas, 20% electricity to exactly the opposite. So hybrid furnace that will be 80% electric, 20% gas. And we are going to do all that, trying to increase the part of green electricity that we buy for those furnaces. So not only we are going to change the technology, but at the same time, we are going also to change the way we buy energy in order to bring much less carbon in the product than what we have today. And back to the example I gave earlier. So that's one part, the basic one. After that, we are working on the full industrial process. So, for example, the feeders also. So we are electrifying them, and we are testing a few things. Right now, we are making tests on hydrogen, also to change the composition of our energy. So we are testing that. We are working, and we have almost all our factories certified on ISO 15001 to make sure that we work diligently year after year on continuous improvement on the use of our energy across the factory. So that's the part that is within the four walls of our factories to make it simple. And at the same time, we are going to work with our customers on lighter product. So if you can provide basically the same product in terms of characteristics, in terms of dimension, physical properties, and chemical properties, but with lower weight, so overall it's going to be less carbon. So we have a few projects open already with customers to lighten the products that we provide. And we are also working with, so it's eco-design to make it simple. And we are also working with all our customers on the full value chain. So from the moment we buy raw material to the moment the product is delivered to the filling line of our customers, on what are all the options or all the things that we could do in order to reduce carbon on the full value chain. And we have a few customers that are very keen today to work with us on our decarbonization plan.
Sounds like an awful lot going on, and a really exciting year ahead.
Absolutely. The point is, so yes, for sure. And the point is, if we truly want to have an impact on that, what is interesting is that you need to bring the whole company first, and on top of that, then all the stakeholders of the company to work towards that goal. So we work with suppliers, and we start making choices ourselves on the way we buy some of our entrants in production to get less carbon. We work with suppliers upfront on product and on the way we deliver them to them in order to minimize the carbon, and we work within our four walls. And if you look at that, you say, yeah, okay, so then the whole company is focused on that, and as a consequence of that, yes, we'll manage to lead the industry.
Absolutely. One final question for you, Olivier. Has anything surprised you about moving into the life sciences industry? I mean, you touched on the need for quality. I wonder if there's anything else that you found unique about this industry compared to others you've worked in before.
Yeah, I would say at the end of the chain there is a patient, and it could be life or death. So the consequence of that is that we work with our customers on very, very long-term relationships. Because when they put a product on the market, we are part of that. And we are part of that for the next 20 years, most of the time. Which means that, we need to work with them on making sure that, I would say, whatever happens, we provide for their needs during the whole life of the product. So in terms of supply chain planning, S&OP process, a lot of work to do jointly with our customers. That's one part. And the second part is the product needs just to be perfect. Because you just want to be sure that at the end, the patient and the process gets exactly what he needs. And what he needs, it's not only the product that is inside the vial of the bottle, but the full product. So that's where I would say, yes, from a quality point of view, a level of focus that is unprecedented. And from a quality of service too. And that's basically the 2 points on which we are working to satisfy our customers.
So important, isn't it? Olivier, thank you so much for your time. Been a pleasure speaking to you today.
Thanks to you, Luc, and thanks a lot. And looking forward to our next discussion.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Head to pharmasource.global to sign up to the community, our weekly newsletter, and get invites to upcoming events. Thank you for listening.